Hi, this is Patricia. Thank you for stopping by my channel, which is 3R's Crafting, where I try to reduce, reuse, and recycle, reimagine, repurpose items and change them from one thing into creating beautiful art. Today I have to share with you a beautiful shabby chic, tall and skinny journal. It's one signature, and I'm going to show you something that I discovered, and so I'm just going to put her aside for just a moment. I'm also working on a blue one, and so what, I have a pink cover. This is just to show you what I am doing and sharing what's worked for me. Now, this is not the cover for this journal. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for it. I can flip through it though real quick. Isn't it pretty? I love blue. It's my favorite color, but I also love pastels and all these beautiful, beautiful pages. But as far as the cover goes, and I will show you on this one as well, we have the front cover like this, and when I turned it over, it was lacking a few inches because this is a one signature and it is ephemera rich. There's ephemera everywhere in the whole journal, so that makes it bigger, of course. And so I had to add, I haven't sewed this on yet, and this is just right now for me to make sure that that's how much I need, and I'm not going to cover this up. It'll probably be about that much. But using that as a guide, what I did with this one is, and I may have to make it a little bit more. Let me make sure I'm in frame, sorry. Is, I don't know if you can see this here, but it's about 1/4 of an inch or 1 centimeter maybe, and I blocked it off. I put it on the scoreboard and scored 2 lines here, and I'm going to have to do the same thing with this one to add, or if I had legal paper, cardstock, which I do not, I would just use that because it would make up for the length. But see how you've got a little groove right here, and your pages can fit so much smoothly up into this. So my advice to you would be to wait to do the cover until the very end. Do your journal first with all your ephemera in it that you want to include, and then come and make this as wide as you need it to be. I think I'm going to make it a little bit wider simply because there's no ephemera in this yet. It's only pages and some things I want to do. And so, but I want to show you one other thing too, and then we'll get down to the other one. So I did a video on this about how you make the 8.5 by 11 tall and skinny journals, and that's what my journals are. I live in the United States, in Richmond, hot Virginia. Oh my God, it got up to 87 today. It's April. But anyway, so what I was trying to do was to fit 8.5 by 11 landscape paper to be able to use it as a tall and skinny, which we call this portrait. And this is 8.5 inches here and 11 inches tall. Now I know that the UK has A4 paper, and so it's a little bit different, and you don't have to make them that tall, but we just have to cut the top off anyway, so that's why I do all of my journals this big, if this were to go like this. But one thing I was showing you how to do. Now, if you are Generation Z or X or whatever you are, and you know about computers, you don't have to watch this part, you can fast forward. But what I'm having to do is manually go in and readjust the size of each page so that it will go into 4.5 each with 11 inches tall and not be distorted. Because if I did it distorted, it doesn't come out right. And these pages were wrinkled. They were not going to be able to be used in a journal, so that's why I was using them. And sometimes even I go and I use black and white, but I wanted to see the color and see exactly what was going on with it. But I'm not happy with any of it. And even though you turn it like this, which maybe be all right, but that's not the way and these pages are from My Porch Prints, and I think it's literally shabby blue pages is the thing. And this is the other side of it. So what I do is I go into my photo editing and I crop the pages. And so to get this side, which is the left, I crop the right. But I didn't like the way it turned out because you miss all of this. So I don't know what to do about this page. I think that what I'm going to have to end up doing is, instead of making it a big page like this, is to turn around and make it a page like this. And then you'll get it just, because that's what I do. I take the smaller pages and put them in with the larger pages. And we'll go back and look at this, but that way, and as I said, you can see this is full of ephemera, and that's exactly what I wanted it to be. So, but what I do is I go in there and I crop it, and I crop it over to the right until and let me show you, because the inside of these are cropped. And I'll take that out for a minute. And so what I did was go into the middle of the page, and I cropped over to the center, and then I cropped a little bit on each side, because in the original painting, this flower, you can see the whole thing, but it can only be 4.25 inches this way and 11 inches this way. And I didn't want to distort any of the wonderful words in here in French, because this, unfortunately, I don't think it's available anymore. I went on Etsy to see if you could purchase it, and it shows that it's no longer, the shop is no longer on Etsy. It's from Antique Papery. It's called Love Paris. It's one of the most beautiful kits I own. I bought it several years ago, and I use it over and over and over because it's just so beautiful. And here's some more down here I covered. Yeah, I don't know if we took these out, you can see, but aren't they beautiful? And unfortunately, they're not available anymore. But I know that Sherry has a Facebook page. I don't know what that is. I don't do Facebook. And so maybe you can find her over on Facebook. It's called Antique Papery, Paperie. But look at these pages. Aren't they gorgeous? And this journal has an Eiffel Tower theme. It's in here a whole lot, which I love. But see, you can just do this again. I guess I just did those. And put them through. But it's a lot of fun to do that way, and you can use your things. So that's just what I do. And then if I like the way it looks when it comes out, then, but I don't like this at all, because it cuts off too much on each side. And I thought that I was going to like this one, and so I went ahead and printed on the back of it, which I think is really pretty too, but I don't like it. But that doesn't mean it's going to go to waste. I can certainly do a big large tag with it, or make a pocket out of it. I can do other things, but that's what I mean by reduce, reuse, and recycle. When I have to do, I'm old, and old people take a million meds, and so each time I get medicine, even though it's the same medicine I have been on since 2005, I guess by law they have to put in the information sheets, and sometimes it's like 10 pages. So, and they're not printed front and back. So what I do is I keep those, and when I want to do a printer test for color, just to make sure the colors, whether I need ink or not, or if I have to do like one of these, I usually use those pieces of paper, and then I will put them in the recycle bin. So there's all kinds of cool ways, and quite frankly, I think that the crafters and the paper craft, and also paper floral and art, all of these combined multimedia, that we're the best recyclers on the planet. We recycle, recycle, recycle. And things that would be just sitting and rotting on a shelf, bookable pages, are now being used in beautiful new ways and enjoyed and treasured by the people who get them in the end. So I think that's a wonderful thing. And I ordered by supplies, I will be honest. I had like about a 15 to 20 year collection of the most wonderful fabrics and laces and trims, and we were between housings waiting for one of them to get approved through the building inspector, and we were just from pillar to post there for a long time. But we finally found this house, which I love, and we wouldn't be in this house if it wasn't for that. But we put all our stuff in storage, and we had the wettest winter, almost record setting here in Virginia and Richmond, and there was a leak in everything. 99% of everything was gone. And so as I slowly rebuild my stash, I am using it. That Precious Rachel at Roxy Creations, she has said that for the first time that I ever watched one of her videos in early 2019. Don't use your stuff. I mean, don't hoard your stuff. You know, there's some that you can take a bit and leave, but share it and pass it on. And I think that is such excellent advice, because all those things, and I used to go in and look at them and think, oh, they're so pretty because they're vintage. And I had some late 1800s papers, and I had a late 1800s French child's doll clothes, and it was beautifully handmade, not machine stitched. It was all handmade and gorgeous, and all that just went right to the dump because we couldn't recycle it because it had mold everywhere. So anyway, I will go on off my little tale of woe, but it taught me a great lesson. And so also I really, really want to encourage you to try to make one of these journals. It is so much fun. And for one of the reasons, I make huge journals. I have to stop. That's just who I am. And this one's only one signature, and so I have to stop. But I can fill it full of ephemera, which is what I love to do, and I can use lots of laces. I just got a huge lace haul from eBay. It was one of the best buys of my entire life, and I've been on eBay for 30 years or more. Oh, yeah, 30 years or more. Ooh. But anyway, it was one of my best purchases. And so instead of just letting them stay in the box and let me look at them, these are vintage. I don't think any are antique, but they're all vintage. They came from a dressmaker's estate. And so it's just, I don't know, the price was terrific, and I am going to share it. I'm trying to build my channel because I've got to get our cat spayed. We have kittens out the ears that all need to be adopted. I'll try to put some of their pictures up. They all want to be on the internet and be famous. They think they're influencers. So, but we are looking for permanent adoptions or people who would be willing to foster them and look for, they're all beautiful cats. They are all just spoiled, rotten. They're very, very human and loving and just wonderful. But these were feral cats, and we can't keep them. And if we can't find a place for them in 2 weeks, they're going to have to go to the shelter and be in a cage. But they need to be gone where they can have some access to people who can still get them while they're adorable, little, precious little kittens. So anyway, I will get rid of these. But if you have any questions of that, leave me a comment. And I don't know how to film my computer at the same time as doing it other ways. And so, but I will be doing my best to explain how you go and you crop this. Now, there's a more complicated way to do it. I have a program on my computer that does all kinds of stuff with PDF files, and you can take a PDF file and it will re-image the image for you into this, but it's really complicated, and it doesn't work on inches. It works on dots per inch. Literally, that's how you do it. And instead of being 8.5 by 11, it's like 2,684. And I don't have a key to that to know what it is. And just trying took hours, and I'm like, forget it. I'll just do the best that I can this way. But if you know how to do that, and I have an IBM, not IBM, Bill Gates, whatever his company is. But I don't have the Apple computer, and I'm told that the Apple computer software can turn that in more easily than the other ones. So MSN, Microsoft. And so that's just what you could do. But please, 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 as we'll go through here, and I'll give you some tips on how to do this, make this. You can't, you know, there are 11 pages that I should have told you this in the beginning too. There are 11 what I call anchor pages, these, and I didn't count how many of the smaller pages like this there are, but there are 11, and these 11 are printed on heavy duty paper. It's a 28-pound weight. I don't know what that is in metrics, I'm sorry, and the paperback is way over the other side of the room. So, but I did that because it will make them stronger, and because I usually print on 24-pound paper, which is a bit heavier than the 20-pound paper that you use for an office, you know, copy paper or computer paper. But it also makes it feel, it's not quite as dense as using presentation paper, but it feels the same. It feels like a magazine page, and so the colors come out more beautiful. And I just love it. I mean, the effect is great. They're stronger, and so we will start. But that's one thing else I wanted to tell you too is give this a try. See if you see. I would buy, if I was going to do my 28-pound paper or presentation paper, I would buy the smallest you could get and then do a test run to see whether you like it or not. And but anyway, that's enough of that. And so let's put these away and put this back where she belongs. I think that's a female cardinal, but I'm not sure. That goes right there. Okay, and I have to make sure that I'm in frame, if you'll bear with me. Now, there's a reason I do this, and that's how I open them. It's kind of like getting the air out of macaroons. Not like I make those, but I've seen it on cooking shows. So let me see. I want to make sure that. And sorry about the blue tape. It's the only way. I taped this once already, and it was out of frame. So, yep, that's good. That's good. The camera's there. And let me see. I can't tell. Nope, that's pretty straight. Sorry. I don't know why that's not holding it steadier. That's not very... Okay, let's raise it a little bit. How about that? Okay, that should work, hopefully. Okay, so if I do like that... Anyway, let's just start, and if it didn't work, I will start again. So, as I said, this is a shabby chic style, and I love it. So she looks more Victorian than she does Parisian, but maybe they're over there visiting Paris from England. I don't know. And this journal is based on the time after World War One, when France was in a good mood, bless its heart. It had come to a hard war. It was the time of the Great Gatsby and their great Scott Fitzgerald and his wife's, their love affair, their tragedies, and also Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. And he was a painter there, and his parents were of the aristocratic French, and his father was a count, and he would have also been a count at his father's death, but unfortunately he had a congenital genetic disease where his legs didn't grow very tall. His body did, but not the legs. And I don't know whether that affected him, but he began hanging out with prostitutes a lot, and he drank a lot. I mean, a lot. And he died from a combination of a sexually transmitted disease and alcoholism. So, but he did not want to be a great painter like Monet. He began painting posters, which made him happy. So, without further ado, but it starts with a quote from him. I love quotes, and says, "All of my life through, the new sights of nature made me rejoice like a child. The older one gets, the more one feels that the present must be enjoyed. It is a precious gift, comparable to a state of grace." And I thought that being springtime and at the very beginning of this journal was a beautiful sentiment. So let's go and see what's inside. I'm going to try to get that, if you'll bear with me one moment. I'm sorry, I don't know how to stitch them together, or else I would. I did know. Oh, that's why it's going out of frame. And then Microsoft did an update on my computer, which I didn't ask it to, and it took out the thing I knew how to use and put in something else. But I have no idea. So that does look pretty good. Let's just hope that it is. So again, the front page has this lovely tag. This is a freebie from Yvonne Preston. So if you go over to her shop, you can get them. She has a coffee shop. And this was didn't work out in reality, it did so much in my brain. But this is a piece of vintage piano paper. And I just printed on the back of it. And the way that you can print gray is to put down your paper and then switch it over to the gray, that's what it's called on my computer. I have a Canon, and so that's how you get the lovely gray paper. I don't mind it as a background page, it just didn't work the way I thought it would. And then I also believe that your cover should be gorgeous, and that when you open the journal, it should be beautiful. And this is my favorite type of trim, the white cotton, and I love this page. I think it's gorgeous. I use it a lot. So, and this is just a little paper pad I stuck in here. Because I had some scraps that I didn't use. And then here's an Eiffel Tower. And then this has just some, like I said, there's a lot of ephemera rich, and you choose to do with it as you please. I'm not the best at putting this stuff together. It always falls out, and I don't know why. But, and this is that lovely, lovely paper and a postcard. And that's just some ephemera with Paris. Now, this again is, yeah, let's show you that. That's a perfect example of what I did. This is also part from that paper pack I have from the vintage music paper. And so this is pink. The background page is, and it is supposed to be pink, but then when I put it on the grayscale, isn't that neat looking? And so that's how you do it. You know how to make that little pocket, right? I will show you. This will not be precise, but I didn't make this up. It was on Pinterest. And so what you do is you bring out your piece of paper. I like to have this is too big, but I think that this side should be 2 inches shorter than this side, but that's just what it did for me. So you take the paper and you fold up the corner like this, and you make these two close together so that they form a 90-degree angle. And then you just press it and you fold it one inside the other. This one on the left folds right into the right. And what I do is, once I get it the way I like it, I glue this on the bottom immediately. I usually glue it either with Fabri-Tac or art glitter glue. And then later I will go and put a single stitch on the sewing machine down there. But look, and that makes a great pocket because you've got a pocket here, and then you've got a little pocket here, and then one here, and as you see, you can put one in the back. So, you know what, I might just put that in my blue one. Well, let's see, reuse, recycle, because that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. But anyway, that's how you make those. It's really, really simple. And let's see, I think that one went there. Something's going on with my dryer. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got to